I'm Carla Hassett. We're here in my home studio, Little Chaplin House, and you're watching BURL TV. My name is Carla Hassett. I'm a singer, songwriter, and producer, and we're in my house. We're in my little home studio. This is where I do all my recording. So I started my career as a session singer in Chicago, and then I came to Los Angeles and went into touring as a backup singer. I toured with REO Speedwagon and Billy Idol, Sergio Mendes, Christopher Cross, a bunch of really great artists. I started making my own records in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, and that's when I started more exploring my roots. I'm originally from Brazil, and I started blending American pop music with Brazilian music, with samba and bossa nova, and exploring tropicalia also. And I put out 3 records sort of along those lines. And then I started diving a little bit deeper into bossa nova. Today we're working on Sempre Odara, which is part of a collection of 3 songs that we recorded at East West Studios. With BURL, we recorded using the mothership, the big, beautiful mothership at East West. We tracked Adriana, we tracked Sempre Odara, and we tracked 3 Kings. The first thing that we recorded that beautiful day at East West was this amazing song by the Brazilian composer Roberto Menescal. It's an old bossa nova tune from 1961, I believe, and Rich from BURL picked the song, and I'm so glad he dug deep into the barrel to find this little gem. And then we put it out on vinyl. So there's Adriana. It was recorded, mixed, mastered, and cut to vinyl, all on BURL gear. So I brought Sempre Odara home to do the final vocal and the final guitar. Sempre Odara is a really special song because it just won the John Lennon Songwriting Contest. It won, it took the grand prize in jazz. So the beauty of it is I get to bring those tracks home and finish my recording process with basically the same setup I had at East West, because I've got my fabulous B16 here. So the environment is what we just came out of in the big studio, and I get to bring that here at home, which is just a game changer. It's a game changer for me. It's very rare that you get an opportunity to go to such a beautiful room like Studio 2 at East West. And, you know, under normal circumstances, that's the only chance you have, and you're kind of scrambling to get everything done in a very short period of time because this is a very expensive studio. So here's where everything changes now. I can go and track, let's say, like we did with Sempre Odara, we tracked rhythm section. I get to bring those tracks home and track with the same quality, all the finishing touches, overdubs. I'm doing final vocals. We just did the final vocals. I still have to comp all that. And I get to do it here in my home and have that same crystal clarity that I had at East West.
Quem mandou ficar Odara nessa paz? O sol quando se raia queima mais. Laroyeshu vem me ensinar. Traz o arcanjo,
That's the really cool thing about the B16 is you can customize it. You can sort of choose the daughter card that makes sense for you, and you can combine it the way that suits your needs. And the beauty is, at the end of the day, it's the same stuff that the B80, the big B80 mothership in the big studios have. It's the same components, and you get to have them in your own house. So this B16 in particular uses SoundGrid, Waves, SoundGrid to essentially to talk to my Pro Tools. I was on Apollo for the last 3 or 4 years. I had an 8 quad, which was great. It's certainly suitable for everything that I was doing. But when the B16 came in, I just felt like a new world just opened up for me. I remember the first vocal session I did, I put the headphones on, I got set up, and I felt like I was breathing fresh air for the first time. Like I didn't even really know how crisp and clean the air was until I sang through the B16. It was really a game changer. And what I noticed was when I track vocals now, I sing in a more relaxed way. I sing with less tension. I sing with less frustration because what I'm hearing back is true to what I'm putting out. There's nothing getting fuzzy or nothing's changing in the chain. It just comes back out just really clean and clear and warm. And there's something about hearing yourself in that ultimate environment that totally affects your performance. So for vocals especially, totally changes everything for me. Same thing for the guitars. I mean, recording guitars is really hard. I've used the B16 both line in. I never mic a guitar when I'm just demoing or just working out a song and I just need to get it down quickly. I always just go in line just because it's easier. Never intending for that to be the final track. But what I found that even just doing that, it already sounds great. And then, so we tracked Sempre Odara, we tracked the guitars yesterday with a couple of really wonderful high-end microphones. And it was that same feeling, just what you're getting back is warm and clean. I think for acoustic instruments especially, this is necessary now. So the B22 ORCA gives me a lot of flexibility, more than I had in the past. I've got an option for speaker A setup, speaker B setup. Then I can go into my headphone setup, and I've got this routed through a headphone amp, because I often have more than just myself recording in here. So I've got a lot more flexibility now. Things were a little bit chaotic in the past with headphone mixes and having that sense of control over who gets to hear what and having to mute things, and I was constantly running into trouble with that. So this is a nice, clean, easy way of getting a good headphone mix. Everything that's coming out of this is just crystal clear. Everything you can hear, all the definition. And there's also this hi-fi quality to everything that it almost like already sounds like a finished product. It's got It's got a nice range of, you can hear all the frequencies, you can hear the depths, you can hear the crispness, you can hear those essential mids that we need as singers, those higher mids that we need to really know what it is that we're doing, how we're performing it. So the mix workflow, you know, again, when things start getting more defined, you start making better decisions on what you're doing. You're not trying to compensate for something that you don't even know is either there or not there, or in a different level of what you're actually hearing. So clarity is the most essential thing to the decisions that you're going to make. It's working out great. It was an easy setup. I mean, it took no time. Really, it took no time to get this up and running. It's all pretty straightforward. Downloaded SoundGrid, got it set up, made a couple of the configurations, and there it is. I've always had like the best stuff I could possibly have. I'm on the latest version of Pro Tools. I've got this nice hardware, my compressor and pre here. I love my 6176. You know, great microphones, even headphones are all great quality. There was always something a little bit missing. There was always some element that just wasn't quite like that sound. And that's what it was. It ended up being, this was the missing link. So now everything is now gelled together. And my home situation just got a big upgrade. I feel I'm more compatible now with the bigger studios. I feel like I can, it's like the gap between a home situation and a big giant studio situation. The gap is starting to close up. So look out, you guys. I feel, I always wanted this room to be just really attractive for vocalists. Vocalists like to come here because they get to track vocals with a vocalist as their engineer, and that makes them feel better. Some producers bring their vocalists here for the same reason, that I can totally relate to that experience on the other side of the microphone. But now my gear is matching all that, and it's taking me to the next level. I mean, it's like having a great mic locker. It's just an elevated situation. Now I can say I'm definitely a step up from my old Apollo days.